a bunch of clouds in Adobe Illustrator, a map, warplanes PNG, an explosion.mov file. Bring it all into the After Effects and add some sound effects, and you will get this.
British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain has asked for a meeting. September the 15th, 1838. Hitler waits for an important...
Unfortunately, the world has witnessed 2 world wars. World War stories fascinate us, specifically the kind of fighter planes in the sky. On the other day, I was watching the documentary World War II from the front lines on the Netflix. I thought about how to recreate this kind of visuals in After Effects using the 3D camera. Hello everyone, my name is Naresh and let's try to recreate these cool effects that can be used in documentary or vlog videos. Alright friends, so I have added all the assets which we will need to create this cool effect. And the project file is available from the link in the description. You can download along with these assets. So let's get started. So let's create one new composition. Let's call it master. Okay, let's first add map. So this is our Poland map. Let's scale it down. Alright, let's add some texture to give it kind of grungy look. Let's change the blend mode to multiply. If you don't able to see this option, then click on this toggle switch mode and you will be able to see. Alright, let's select this both layer and pre-compose it. Let's call it map. Click OK. Go to effects and presets and search for black and white effect. Add black and white effect. Search for curve. Add curve. You can give a tint to give this kind of look, and we can play with this curve to give it some more. Alright, so now let's add clouds. This is one cloud, this is another. Let's add this also. Alright, so we have added the clouds. Now let's add the 3D camera. So right click, click on new and add camera. So this is our camera. We can rename it also. So type of camera, there are 2 type of camera, 1 node camera and 2 node camera. Most of the time we are using 2 node. It gives us more room for the movement of the camera, so we can move around the object. Here is our presets. There are several presets available, 15 mm to 200 mm. Remember that lower the number, wider the angle, and more the number, it is for the zooming. So these are the zooming lens and this is the wider lens. So let's select 50 mm. You can also enable depth of field and you can later on also change it from the camera setting. So no need to worry about. Now let us give some demonstration of how this lens size affect our the appearance of our animation. Alright, so first I am selecting 135 mm presets and now I am selecting 15 mm presets. You can make the difference. Okay, remember that whenever you are adding camera, it will only work if your layers are in 3D. So we have to convert all this layer into 3D. So select all the layers, toggle switch if it is not available, and click on this icon. This is a 3D layer. So convert all the layers into 3D layer. If this is not visible, click on this toggle switch modes button. Alright, so layers are converted into 3D. So let's try to understand what we are going to create. So it will be easy for us to understand. So we are going to move our camera from top to down. So here is our land or our map. Then above that we will show the explosion. And above that we'll have the clouds. Then above that we will show warplanes. Then above that we have again clouds. So our camera will move from above and in this direction till the map. So this is we are going to create. Alright, so we have the camera. Let's change it to 2 view. From here you can change to 2 view. Now this is very useful. This is the active camera view and this another view is top view, or you can change to front, you can change to left, or you can change to back. I usually prefer top view. So this is the top view and this is the bottom. So how it will work, let me demonstrate. So this is our camera. This is our camera. You can drag and hold Z axis and you can move the camera. So this is how our camera will move. So this is our lowest layer or the bottom layer. Let's drag it and place it way down. So let's scale it so that it covers our screen. Then we have a cloud. So let's place this cloud here. Then we have another cloud. Let's place top of that. You can also change its position by dragging it here. And I'm putting this cloud here. Alright. Then we have this cloud. Let's put it here, topmost. Alright, so this is the arrangement of our layers, and above all we have a camera. So let's move camera. Again we have to scale our map. Alright, so it's a high resolution file, so no need to worry about. Alright, so these are our layers. So let's add basic keyframe to our camera. So go to camera, transform, point of interest and position, add keyframe to it. Then move to last frame and again move our camera to the lowest point. See, you can see the order of layers. Clouds, again clouds, then our final. So this is the basic animation we have created. Now let's add planes. So I'm going to select these planes. Alright, so let's add a new composition. Let's call it planes. So we have these planes. Let's scale it down. Alright, now let's add position keyframe, or keep holding Alt key and press this stopwatch icon and you can write the wiggle expression. Write 1 and 5. So it will give you some basic movements. So this is the basic movements for the duplicate it. Place it here. Let's scale it down so it appears like it is flying low, and then the rest of the planes. Alright, so these are our planes. Let's add this composition to our layer. After this cloud, because they are high up in the skies, these clouds. So after these two clouds, I will be showing the planes. Don't forget to change it to 3D layer, otherwise it will not work. So now we have selected plane and I want to put those planes here. Here I will be putting. Alright, let's scale it down. Small so that they hide behind the clouds. Alright, so now let's add drop shadow to our planes. Search for drop shadow in After Effects. Alright, so let's add drop shadow to our planes. Change the distance to quite high. quite high because the planes are flying so high that shadow will be very far. And change the softness to some like that. Alright, so let's add the shadows to our clouds also. Now similar to planes, we have to add a lot of distance for the clouds also. Alright, then copy this effect and paste to the rest of the clouds. Alright, so we have our clouds and planes both having the drop shadow. Now let's give some motion to our planes. Drag by XYZ axis and try to move little bit. So this is the basic movement. Now drag this keyframe and bring it to the end of the animation. Let's play it. So very subtle movement of the plane. Alright, now let's move back to camera. Place U on the screen so you will be able to see all the keyframes. So hold these two keyframes for the position. Press F9 on the keyboard for the easy ease. Then click on this graph editor. Select both the keyframe and change the graph to this. So it will have this smooth animation. Alright, now let's explore the other option in the camera, that is the camera option. And we can have this depth of field, so we can change this focus distance and aperture. So if you reduce the aperture, it will create clear images. So you can move your camera, clear images of these planes. Then you can change it to, so it will getting blur. Can you see? So this has become blurred. So it's kind of having the background blur effect. So here we can create some blurry effect. Alright, so this is blur. Then moving towards the planes. Now we can create a clear image here. So let's bring it down. So now it is becoming clear. See? So the images are clear, and again changing it back to lower. So we have a clear visuals of our land. Similarly, focus distance also you can change. So you can see this line is moving. That is our focus. So if you click and you can change, so this is your first cloud, so this will become clear. Alright, so this has been focused on this first cloud. Alright, now let's add explosion. So again, create new composition, let's call it explosion. Click OK. So we have this shockwave top view file. Let's add it. So we have these explosions. Let's scale it down. Let's duplicate it. Place it here. This one will be here. Now let's change the sequence of the blast. So this one first, this will appear first. Then afterwards this will appear. So let's change it. As all the blast will not happen simultaneously, but it will happen in the sequence as per the movement of the planes. Alright, so let's add this explosion file. Alright, let's convert it to 3D. So this is our explosion file. Let's put it over this layer. Series of explosions should happen after the plane passed from above the area. So let's add at this point, not before that. Alright, so these are the series of explosion. First, change the position to, these are the explosion. Then we can duplicate it and add others. And change its position to, let's play it again. Now let's add this Nazi flag here. So here it will be okay. So go to map composition and select this, change it blend mode to overlay. Alright, so now let's animate it. Opacity. Press T on the keyboard, add keyframe to opacity, move it, add keyframe, move it to the first key and add 0. Then scale it down so it covers the whole end. You can also add some motion blur to planes. So select plane and click on this motion blur icon. Alright, so now let's add some text. So this is our text and it's going to be above the explosion. Let's convert it to 3D layer. So this is our text. Let's change its position to here. Let's give some grungy look. So add old paper. Then select track matte to old paper. Select Luma matte. So it will have this grungy look. So let's trim it down and give it, press T and let's give opacity 0. Move this thing this much and again add opacity of 100. Alright, so this is good. Okay, again go back to camera and let's rotate the Z axis. So come to starting frame, add keyframe to this Z rotation, come to last frame and add rotation value for the 5. Alright, so we have this nice zoom animation. Alright, so our animation is almost ready. Now let's give it a final touch. Click on new adjustment layer. Let's rename it as Gaussian blur. Come to effects and presets and search for the Gaussian blur. But before that, let's add ellipse shape on our layer. Invert it and let's add this Gaussian blur. Increase the value to 25, 26. Click on the mask and add feather to around this much. Alright. Again right click and add new adjustment layer. Rename it as a documentary. Then search for the VHS effect. You can download and install this VHS effect from the link provided in the description. Again right click and add new adjustment layer. Rename it as posterized time. Search for the posterized time and effects in presets. Add posterized time and change the value to 12. Go to this documentary effect. Change the amount of noise to 5. Or you can change this wave type to smooth noise. So whichever you feel right, you can choose that kind of effect. Let's again change it back to one view. This is our final animation. So that's all. See you in the next one. Bye bye. You can also add this particle effect just above your, just below this here. Convert it to 3D and change its position to below the text. Change its mode to screen and just take here. So this is good. So we have nice particles.